Thank you once again for spending a few minutes with us to become updated with what's going on in our community as it surrounds COVID-19 and what's happening here at FHN. Today, I'm very pleased to be able to welcome Tracy Love, who is one of our clinical nurse leaders and has great insight as a clinician who'll be sharing a lot of information about vaccinations with you. As I'm sure there are many questions out there, we'll do our best to cover as much as possible during this brief video. But I wanted to thank you for your time and attention, and more importantly, to thank Tracy for taking time out of her busy day to share with all of our community. Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you for having me. Getting signed up for a COVID vaccine is easy to do. Just go to the FHN website at fhn.org and look for the vaccination page. And once you click into there, you can register for our wait list. FHN continues to work diligently at calling patients off of our wait list. Currently, right now, we are continuing to make phone calls for our over 65 population, and once we have completed those calls, we will be moving on to the next groups. We do encourage everyone to get on as many lists as possible. Some of the other places within our area who are giving vaccinations are some of our local pharmacies as well as your local health department. So I would recommend signing up for not only the FHN list but other lists in the area. Therefore, when a vaccination is available, someone will be able to call you to schedule an appointment. People can call 815-599-6412 and they will have someone on the line who will be able to help them get registered to our wait list. If you have questions about the vaccine itself, we do recommend that you call your local provider. They would have more information for you rather than the line. Unfortunately, we do not have that capability for you to be able to look to see where you are on the list. And unfortunately also, we would not be able to tell you where you are on the list if you were to call. Our lists do change sometimes daily to hourly, depending on the volume of vaccine we have, the amount of appointments we're able to make, and the amount of people on the list. Currently at our Dirk Drive location, we schedule between 5 and 8 people every 15 minutes throughout the day. Once you arrive at the facility, you will check in. Your wait is very minimal. Then you would go back to get your vaccine. After you have your vaccine, we do recommend and ask you to wait at least 15 minutes, and in some cases up to 30 minutes, so that we can observe you after your shot. For most people, the average time is about 25 minutes that you would be at the clinic. We will call people when we have an appointment that is available for them based on our work list and the volume of vaccine that we have available. If we can't get a hold of somebody, we will leave a message, but then we do have to move on to the next person on the list due to the large volumes of calls that we have. What I recommend is if you do see a number, especially a 599 number, please answer that call. If it's a spam call, you can always hang up, but right now we are making calls, and if you know you're on a list, it is very important that you answer those calls. I would recommend that you need to set that appointment. If someone else calls you from another area where you have signed up on their list, I would recommend getting the vaccine at that place. They have the vaccine available and ready, and I would take that appointment. If you receive your first shot at FHN, you will receive your second shot here as well. Upon leaving our clinic from your first vaccine, we will give you a card which has information about your vaccination that day, and we'll have your return appointment date and time. The most important thing to remember is to bring your photo ID with you to your appointment. This is how we will register you when you arrive. I also recommend do not come early for your appointments. You should only come to the building about 5 minutes before your appointment time, and that's when we would be able to register you. If you're there too early, we may ask you to wait in your car until your appointment time is available.
The FHN team is ready, willing, and raring to grow. They've been working really hard to be very efficient and have been able to get a process in place where they can do about a vaccination every minute. Now, of course, we need enough space for people to spread out and to wait for 15 minutes after receiving their vaccine, but as soon as we get the supply, we're ready, willing, and ready to go. We really don't know because the supply is contingent on what is given to the state of Illinois and then being released through the county health department. So what we get from the county health department really dictates what vaccines that we have to offer. And we offer whichever vaccines are available at the time. So depending on the supply, whether a person gets 2 doses or 1 dose and what brand they'll actually be using really is out of our hands. We know a lot of folks have been working really hard to advocate for more doses coming into Illinois. I believe in a recent article I read, out of the 50 states, Illinois ranks as 22 as far as the amount of vaccines that have been delivered or released to the state. So we're not doing terrible, but we're about in that midway point. So we have a lot of competition for the available vaccines, and we are actively advocating to try and get more and more vaccines to Illinois, and hence through the health departments and to us directly. So we're doing our best, but there's really not much else we can do but continue to ask. We've been receiving vaccine allocation weekly, and we receive whatever the health department's able to order, as we're not able to order directly, and they receive it from the state on however that's allocated. So every week we've received the shipment of various size depending on the allocation that the health department was able to procure or be able to get available for our community. We certainly are. We've had a backup list, and we've called people that maybe didn't make it to their appointment. We have a whole nother list that we keep working within those folks that have signed up already to be able to call and to get them in if we have any available doses at the end of that vaccination clinic or day, because we do not want to waste any of the vaccine. And I'm proud to say that we have not wasted any of the vaccine to this date. I don't believe there is any reason that anybody should wait to get on the list. They should get on the list as soon as available, and in the event that people are able to get vaccinated in another location or through another channel, when you get that call, it's as simple as just letting the person on the other line know that you've already been vaccinated. But there's no harm in putting your name on that list, and hopefully we can get to you as soon as possible. I think the thing I'm looking most forward to is coming together as a community again, being out and about and being able to enjoy each other's companies in larger settings, whether that's music on Chicago, whether that's out on some of our trail rides as groups, and really being able to support a lot of our local businesses that have had a difficult time during this entire pandemic, being able to freely go out and support them, as well as seeing restaurants that are full again, being able to go to the movie theater and being able to enjoy that type of environment is probably what I'm looking forward to the most, is being around others.